Hi buddies, welcome to Amass Games. This is Rainer Knizia's, or Dr. Rainer Knizia's Equinox. I've played many of his games. You can find that on the playlist under How to Set Up Play and Review, amongst other things. This is a completed game. It's taken half an hour at speed play at the end of the UK Expo. And it's just all finishing up now. And lots of people said, yeah, check this game out. So what you're doing is you are going to have a hand of cards, 8 cards. Say you've got this amongst others. And what you're looking to do is trying to get your animal, these kind of creatures, to get to the end to score. So imagine you have a hand and you've got this in your hand. These aren't here, remember, at the beginning. You have a 4, 3, 2, 1, and they'll score if they have got to the end. So right now, I'm going to place an 8 there, and I don't have to, but for whatever colour you want to be, say I'm this orange, yellow pebble, I'm going to go on there. Somebody else is going to go along, so maybe they have a 4. Well, they don't want to place a 4, because whichever is the lowest value is eliminated. In this case, it's this guy. That's why it's no longer there. You may still have this in your hand. So when you draw up, you cannot actually discard any of these from your hand until you're the person who completes a row, which means if you have completed the row and someone else has got this, they're stuck in your hand. You can discard up to 3 cards. So now that's gone. This person bet on this one, and again, this person might bet somewhere else, and it might be the case that you don't do anything until relevant. So what I mean by that is this person bet and hoped that it wouldn't be the lowest value. Maybe this was placed first, and maybe they placed this, which triggered, again, this not being the lowest value. They move on, and then again, you place down whenever you want. As you can see, you can place down, like, I think I did this. I placed down an 8 initially, and so went, now I'm going to lower it to a 1. And at this point, when I placed the 8, I thought I hoped it wins. They placed on a 1, and then I had to go, I'm going to place a 10. So it survived, as you can see. But what's also happened is, Ben happened to have a 3.5. Unfortunately, it was the lowest. Ignore this, because basically, those cards are taken away. Coming down again, obviously it speeds up because there are fewer cards that can be played, and of course it triggers once the once the row is completed as well. So in this case, again, what's the lowest value? It's a 0, so it stops. Now again, what you're doing is you're placing down a marker that you think this creature is going to make it to the end, and then you can place a card, and you can place a card under where you've just placed. So in this case again, the lowest value we said is that owl, and then we go down again, and we got for 1 point. Who gets the 1 point? Well, if this gets to the end, and they do. So black gets 1 point for that. It gets points here as well, 2. Again, you can change what you want it to be, but of course you didn't get any points for this one. I haven't talked about these. So for example, a bear is worth 0.5 points. The way that works is it's basically everything is a half point more. So instead of a 6, it's 6.5. Over here, we've got different things. So basically, this allows you to switch something around, and there's various other powers that you can be aware of. Aside from that, yeah, quite nice cards. Crunchy, it's a crunchy game, fairly crunchy game. Quite nice arts to look at, fairly okay cards to hold. Big kind of Dixit-sized cards, I think large European is the name, I think 48mm by, I can't remember what it is, maybe 73mm. And yeah, remember, you need to have the animal, you need to have it in your hand, and you tend to, maybe want to play that lowest value card unless you can play it on somebody else's claimed line. That is basically how the game works. I like it. I would give it kind of a 6.5. I think there's a lot going on here. It reminds me of a few different games. Zexnimt, 6 Nimt, it has a kind of thing going on there in terms of completing a row. There is another game that it does remind me of, and I've just forgotten what that might be. But what I do recommend, Everdell, for some reason, it kicks in slightly for some reason. What I do recommend is, of course, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, share, of course, check out the notifications when you do subscribe. And finally, check out the comments and descriptions for any updates. Hope you enjoyed that. And that again has been the Rainer Knizia game, Equinox. All the best. Bye for now.